From the Casey State Bank Digital First Studio, this is a Good Day Live digital exclusive.
Well, today we are super excited to be back in our great podcast room to share some great information today for those of you out there who love animals as much as I do. I've got two great guests. Of course, you recognize Lori, who's here on behalf of Stadler Tax, and she's going to be sharing with us things that you need to know about your pets and taxes and write-offs and ways that you can potentially make donations and how that all works. And of course, Ray, we're so happy to have you with us today from the Terre Haute Humane Society. We're gearing up for our big annual Tail-a-thon, and we're hoping for generous donations from our community. But today we're also going to talk about ways I hope that people understand the significance of giving to the shelter. So thanks for coming in.
Hey, you're welcome.
So Lori, when we came up with this topic, it was kind of off of the idea that people often ask you, can I write off things with my dog or my cat? Do you get that question a lot?
Well, I love animals and I always have, and I can have a dog as long as I remember it, but that is the number one question in the tax world that I get. Can I write off my dog? They say it feels like a family member, and I think a lot of us feel like those animals feel like family members to us.
So in the world of that concept, though, there are some animals who can be written off as far as a tax donation goes, but they have to be of a purpose, correct?
That's right. So it's very limited when you can write off an animal. But if you have a service animal, that would really qualify as a medical deduction. And if you're able to itemize, you can take all of your related expenses for that animal.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about for the person who has animals as part of their business?
So that's another area where they definitely could do the write-off. So if there's an animal that is specific to your business, if you have a drug-sniffing dog or a dog for security purposes, or a kennel, right? You're going to be able to take all of your expenses related to your animals.
Okay. So there are ways that people can write off the dog or the animal that they have in their life. But I think for most of us, it's really not about that. It's like you said, our pets bring us so much joy. And the animals at the Humane Society are obviously there with the need being high for financially supporting them. And this is where I think questions can also come into play with donations to the Humane Society. You were telling me people still ask that question, even with tax laws that have changed. They sometimes will ask, now, can I write this off?
They do ask that, and of course, my advice always is to talk to your tax professional.
Sure.
Since I'm not an accountant, so
Yeah. When it comes to estate planning, which we'll get to that with you in a second, but you've told me there are people who have made generous gifts to the shelter over the years.
they have, yes, and it's always a kind of a bittersweet thing. We're happy and about receiving the donation, but obviously somebody has lost a family member. But it is a great way to kind of to honor that family member, and we always appreciate those estates that we receive.
Well, absolutely. And I think about that in many ways. The pets in some people's lives are bringing the most joy. So they obviously want to give in some way that they can. How does that work with estate planning? If you say, I want all of my money to be given to a humane shelter, is that something people can do?
Yeah, so if you have an estate that has money in it and you're going to end up paying tax, those charitable donations are deductible from what you'll pay tax on in your estate.
Wow.
So it can be very helpful in that instance.
Someone who's retired, you were also explaining to me, there are ways that they can take from their retirement fund and also make a donation, correct?
Yes. So the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act really wiped out a lot of tax benefit for people making donations, but So a lot of areas have had to kind of rethink how they're going to deal with that. And RMDs, or required minimum distributions from a retirement account, is one of those little areas that have been adjusted. And if you decide you'd like to donate, say, to the Humane Society or another charitable organization, if you have those deductions or that what you want to donate go directly from your retirement account to the charity, you can get the same benefit of not paying tax on that
Wow.
as if you were able to itemize it.
So that could be a benefit for someone who say is, 75, 76 years old. They've started their retirement and
Yes.
they can obviously find some benefit in that when it comes to those taxes.
Exactly. If somebody is in that situation, I would encourage them to reach out to whoever's holding their retirement monies and ask about that, because it can really be a nice benefit both to the charity and to the person who's sending it.
And I think when we talk about donations, we're going to go beyond the tax write-off part here.
Yeah.
We're just going to talk honestly. It doesn't matter if it's $5,000 or $5,000, Ray. Every dollar you all receive is making a difference in the lives of these animals, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And I think people need to I want to reiterate that you do not have to make a large donation. I mean, it does, if you can donate $5, or if you can, I mean, and I'm going a little bit more astray here, but I mean, if you want to donate, a bottle of bleach that we
Wow.
need, or, towels or sheets, those things also we use on a regular basis.
With our upcoming Tail-a-thon, which is happening this year on March the 29th, people are going to have the opportunity to donate, again, as we're looking for those cash donations. Can you tell people where that money goes specifically? Because I know you also have now you take care of the animals' health as well, right?
We do, yes. So for the Tail-a-thon, those donations go to kind of our general fund.
Okay.
And so that means, that covers everything from, literally feeding the animals, to paying our staff, to keeping the lights on, and the heat or air conditioning on.
And when people make that generous donation, which we hope they do on the 29th, we're also saying, we love to take your money, but would you like to take a dog too, or a cat? Because you do adoptions as well, big on that day, don't you?
We do, yes, and we're, as Julie, as you know, we're always full.
Yeah.
So we're always looking for people who want to adopt either a dog or a cat.
Well, we every Monday are so grateful for Maggie and so grateful for the animals that she brings. But obviously, this is one big push and one big day. The QR code that you see, you can actually scan. And if you do so, it will take you directly to our website where you can make a donation now. You don't have to wait till the 29th. You can do this in advance, of course, by scanning that QR code. You have an animal in your life who is wonderful and has been a joy and was a rescue for you, right?
Yes, so we have a Great Pyrenees who came to us from a shelter, and he's just been such a sweetheart, and he's probably pushing 10. We don't know exactly, but it's so neat to see him be content and happy when you know that his life before that wasn't so nice.
Well, this time of year for you is crazy. I imagine coming home to that dog probably is the best part of your day because it's tax season.
Sometimes that's for sure, because they always welcome me home with open arms, open paws.
Yeah, absolutely.
and it's just a nice time.
If we have someone watching right now who's looking for answers to questions in regard to that potentially estate planning or just simple questions, what is your website?
Our website is stadlertax.com, and we've got a lot of information there. They can also give us a call at 812-478-2800 and maybe set up an appointment if they have a lot of questions.
And I'm sure they probably do this time of the year. I know you get lots of questions, but today was about that one question you seem to always get, and it seemed like the perfect tie-in, Ray, to be able to bring you together here today, because we're hoping that people understand no matter what you give, whether it be at the Tail-a-thon or any time of the year, you really are helping to save these animals' lives. And if you could give a message to anybody watching about what it means to get those donations of any kind to you all, could you share that with us?
I mean, it means everything. I mean, that's literally 90% of what we bring in is through donations. I mean, if it weren't for donations, we would not be in existence.
And volunteers too. I want to get that emphasis in too. You're always looking for people who love animals, maybe want to walk a dog or foster an animal. Or
yes, we need people to foster animals, and we can always use volunteers. There's no shortage of things that people can do.
Wow. Well, we are excited about this year's Tale-a-thon. We hope it helps to raise all the money that we've set out a goal for ourselves. And what is that goal? Do we know? 20,000?
I believe so.
I think so.
20,000.
20, we can do that, right?
Yeah.
20,000. Our viewers are amazing people. I know we can do this. So we'll set that goal and hopefully we'll achieve it. Thanks for your time today.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you for coming in.
You're
And to
welcome.
all of you watching, once again, scan that QR code if you'd like to make that donation to the Terre Haute Humane Society. We're hoping that by March 29th, we already have a nice pot already in place of some cash that we've already collected. And on that day, we hope all of you out there will be a special part of our Tale-a-thon. Again, it's going to be a day where we not only get the joy of being a part of raising money for the animals, but we'll also be seeing a lot of the animals that day too. A lot of puppies always bring a lot of smiles, and the kittens and the cats and the animals who really do touch our lives in so many ways. So thanks guys for being here today. We appreciate both of you so very much. And to all of you, thanks for joining us for this podcast with Stadler and Company, the Tax Pros, and with the Terre Haute Humane Society. I say thank you so much and have a good day.